So it has gone from bad to worse for Ryan Newman. And here comes Denny Hamlin in on lap 11. And look at the water.
His car's running hot also. That's what that is, an overflow. And it starts pushing water out when it starts boiling that water.
Yeah, and I think a lot of this may be coming from debris that we saw over there. There was a lot of debris, and trying to get all of that cleaned up before these guys come through there a time or two. And I think that might be what we're seeing here.
He was 15th, and you notice they're not putting fuel in because we have that competition caution still to come, and that's when you're going to have to wait until you put fuel in, until after that. And there you saw A.J. Allmendinger also on pit road. So a lot of cars early here having trouble.
Now, Carl Edwards has remained on the lead lap because they just pitted just to get some tape off as we see them trying to work on this 39 car.
Let's go. That'll be good now. It'll be good.
Yeah, it looks like they got it fixed right there. Had to get that tire clear of that fender.
Yeah, and what they can count on is it's a long day, and since we have the lucky dog rule, things like that, they can find themselves back on the lead lap. Just have to be patient.
12 car, Brad Keselowski has come down pit road as well. No problems, though, for Juan Montoya. Doc?
12 car on pit road. Now, we saw a moment ago that 99 came in as well. They said they got grass on the grill. Some of these guys clipping the grass as they go through the corners, getting some grass in the front of the grill and causing overheating. He pulled tape off the 99 and now tape off the 12 car.
Yeah, you see all that steam coming out. Now, we saw earlier, and Marty, you brought it up, how they were clipping that grass down there, kicking it up on the racetrack in front of these cars. And these cars do not like that. I'm telling you, you can get that grill clogged up in a second if you get that grass blowing up off the track.
He was running 14th before he came in for that unscheduled stop. Let's check in the Craftsman Tech Garage with Tim Brewer.
Marty, one of the most vulnerable areas on the race car is right here at the splitter. This is where all the grass comes up, and once you stop this area, you got to get that area clean. But before the race in the countdown show, we showed where the guys, colder weather here, you can put more tape on it, but if you get greedy, the engine's going to run really hot.
All right, Tim, thanks for that update. Let's also update you on some other cars. Blaney has gone back out. He's 8 laps down on the track. Robbie Gordon, another car in on pit road. Jamie, what's the latest there?
Absolutely, same thing. Overheating for the 7. He's yelling to his crew. He didn't want tires. Just get that grass off the grill. That was the exact same problem with Denny Hamlin, guys. And the 39er, Ryan Newman, it was a fender rub. They think they got it.
All right, thanks, Jamie. You saw right there on the left side of your screen, the 33 of Clint Boyer trying to get around the 12, Brad Keselowski. We also wanted to update you that the 55 of Michael McDowell is back out. He's 3 laps down.
And
the 88's in.
I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like this. This is all these cars running hot just because of this grass kicking up.
Vince?
Yeah, that was exactly the situation for the 88. He was overheating, so they had to come in and get a little tape off the front end, as you see the 13 with a problem.
Oh, and we've got multiple problems. That's Robbie Gordon, as he has shredded the right front.
I have to wonder if maybe Robbie Gordon making that green flag pit stop might have slid the front tires coming to pit road as he tried to get down to pit road speed.
Second caution of the day here, as we have completed 14 of the required laps. And boy, the 13 is still on fire. Max Pappas was so thrilled that he had made his first Brickyard 400. He has qualified twice for the Indianapolis 500. And he said, Marty, I've made Daytona and Indy and now the Brickyard. And it looks like his day is over.
And these crew chiefs really, to help their cars handle it, put a lot of tape on the front end to try to make sure that they can turn. But in turn, then it's biting them whenever they get just a little bit of debris there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think there's just that this car is just so vulnerable to that. I don't care how much tape you've got on there, even if it's wide open. When you start stacking that grass in there, it virtually blocks it off. And I've never seen this many cars have that kind of problem so quickly.
Robbie Gordon limping back to pit road, and right now we have 32 cars on the lead lap after 15 laps.
Yeah, I think this is just exactly what you said, Dale. He was coming down pit road, Robbie Gordon, and slid that right front tire trying to get on pit road, get it clear, and get back out and not lose a lap. But so this caution really kind of brought out by this, whatever this is, this grass getting up in the grills of all these cars.
Okay, NASCAR has told crews they can refuel. So pit road, when it opens up, you may see a bunch of takers this time by. Juan Montoya is probably wondering what's going on. He's had clean air and a beautiful view, and it's been kind of lively behind him.
Yeah, you don't get that debris if you're the lead dog.
Yeah, he goes back and watches the tape of this race and see everything we were trying to show and trying to keep up with all this. He'll be amazed at what was going on.
It's making me dizzy.
Yeah.
Well, Juan's going to take, and so are all the others right behind him. Jimmy Johnson, Mark, and right on through. Here comes the field. Let's go to pit road. Vince, you're up.
Well, Tony Stewart has had a good car so far today. They set it up to be a little bit snug because they thought the car would be loose at the start, and then the plan was to free it up on this first stop. So they're going to make a 4-tire change, give him a little bit more freer race car for the 14 of Tony Stewart. 4 tires and fuel. Jamie?
And Mark Martin says he's just a tick loose. They're going to make a wedge adjustment right side. So the grill on the 5 looks good, Doc.
Jimmy Johnson has no complaints. Right side tire, put in the grill, and he is gone. How about Montoya Day?
He said, clean the grill. I know I got grass on it. They gave him 2 tires full of Sunoco fuel. He'll get beat off pit road by Jimmy Johnson. But Juan Montoya wanted a slight track bar adjustment for a loose race car.
And Jimmy Johnson pulled out onto the racetrack instead of taking the warm-up lane.
That's going to be costly right there.
Unless they were told they could do this.
Okay, must
because of the blown tire
here.
Yeah.
All right, so NASCAR officials have confirmed that it was okay for him to go out immediately onto the racetrack. Let's go back and take another look at. Watch Montoya's crew. The tire change, the guy barely got out of the way.
And he was spinning the tires a little bit there too. But I think because of the oil and everything that's happened here, that's why they allowed him to go out straight out on the racetrack.
Word we're getting was they were actually cleaning part of that access road. That's why the guys were told they could go out onto the racetrack. So, what we thought could have been a very disastrous moment turns out to be okay for the 48. Stay with us.
Round the bases with ESPN tonight and tomorrow night. First, Albert Pujols and the Cardinals take on division rival the Chicago Cubs on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball at 8 Eastern. Then on ESPN's Monday Night Baseball at 7 Eastern, it is the Detroit Tigers and the Tampa Bay Rays. Both games also available on ESPN3.com. Second caution of the Brickyard 400 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. What's kind of been a bizarre start to the race from the pit studio with Rusty, Brad, and Ray. And Rusty, you're looking at this grass on the inside of the corners and saying culprit.
Yeah, that is the culprit right there. You can see the concrete is, you know, it's been added down there, and the car's actually running right down on that concrete. But what happens when they run out of concrete? They hit grass. The grasses actually need to be cut down farther. If there's such thing, the grass being too tall, we got a classic case of this right here.
But you know what? I think one of the main issues here is that it's so wet. Look at that. I mean, it's like a grass soup being thrown up onto the racetrack, getting in some of these air dams and causing some of these cars to overheat. I just think it's moist and thick.
And guys, they run such a small opening here. Remember, we talked about aerodynamics and tape, and it's so small it packs really quick. It doesn't take a lot.
Can I make another suggestion, Rusty? Tell the drivers to stop driving through the grass and stay on the pavement.
There is that.
Hey, look, it looks like the 11 car down there. Denny Hamlin's also working on the front of his car. Some type of problem there. But going back to the issue with the racetrack, these teams need to be aware of this because, man, there are so many cars overheating. And I'm telling you, you got a hard surface down there. A driver is going to try to put that left front tire down there. This could cause a problem as this race goes on.
All right, so Denny Hamlin and Dale Jr. rejoining the race as we work the second caution already, just 18 laps in. What a bizarre start to this thing that it's been, Marty.
Thank you, Alan. There's our Aaron's lucky dog, Brad Keselowski. He gets back on the lead lap, gives us 32 cars on the lead lap. Denny Hamlin, by the way, is 1 lap down, right behind A.J. Allmendinger, who's also 1 lap down. They are 33rd and 34th, respectively. At the front of the field, I know this may sound a little different, but it's going to be the 34 of Kevin Conway. In his first Brickyard 400, he stayed out at that time, and we're waiting for the wave around on some of these cars. And right now, scoring shows Conway and Nemechek, Joe Nemechek, as the 2 that stayed out. There goes Sam Hornish on the wave around.
Yeah, I think Kevin Conway made a pit stop now just so we get the 1 to go, but Joe Nemechek has chosen to stay out there.
You're right. Conway did come down pit road. 2 wave arounds, Bobby Labonte and Sam Hornish Jr., so you get updated there. So Joe Nemechek is your race leader in front of Jimmy Johnson, Juan Pablo Montoya, Mark Martin, Jamie McMurray, Martin Truex Jr. now in the 6th.
You see all this oil right here from Max Pappas's car that blew up. You saw the fire. Saw that oil coming out of the engine there, and they pushed him to the garage area.
Well, and this was a question. I mean, here you have Jimmy Johnson, who qualified second, and that's the pit box that they selected, and that's right in front of Gasoline Alley where everybody is going to turn.
Well, they're going to clean it up. That's why you saw them out there working on it. The good news for Jimmy Johnson's team is it's not in their pit box, so they'll get a good launch out of there. It shouldn't be a problem for them.